Hello everyone, welcome back to Love Yourself Slim with Jo. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to talk about your approach to weight loss. So this is something that's very important no matter which way you want to try and lose weight, but certainly with the one-to-one diet is something that we really focus on. So this is the steps book. It's got everything you need in it, and a few pages in you've got the key to success. So with a diet like this where people perceive that you can get very quick results, obviously people get in touch and say, I've got a holiday in a month, I need to lose a stone. That is possibly doable, depending on the person's medical conditions and which step they do and all those sorts of things. It is possible, but that's not the end of the story, or it shouldn't be the end of the story. No matter which diet you decide to participate in, if you just have a stint, whether that be a month or 6 months or even just a week of being good, and then you go back to your old eating habits, the weight will just pile back on. It's not just a diet like this where that happens. That happens for anyone on any diet because it's the old eating habits that you've gone back to that made you overweight in the first place. So we might as well not bury our heads in the sand. It's true. We need to change things long term if we want to then maintain our new perfect weight. So the 4 stages that are involved in getting us to that perfect weight and maintaining it actually doesn't start with weight loss, it starts with preparation. For this diet in particular, if you find that you want to go on one of the lower steps, this is when it's most important, you really need to spend 2 or 3 days decreasing your carb intake, so that's starchy and sugary carbs. So that's everything from pasta, bread, potatoes, chocolate, crisps, and try and increase your intake of protein and veg in place of it if you can. But very gradually, because the whole point of doing a preparation is that it's not so much of a shock to your system. And you also need to increase your water intake. So once you've done a few days of that stage, then the weight loss starts. So whichever process, whichever step on our plan or anything that you're going to do, that's the one where you lose the weight. Pretty self-explanatory. Once you get to goal, you've got to stabilise it. Whatever step you started on or done the majority of your weight loss on and got yourself to goal, you then need to move up the steps at regular intervals of at least 2 weeks, but you can stay on each one for longer if you would rather do it for longer. So for example, if you've lost all your weight on step 2, which is an 800 calorie plan, once you get to where you want to be, you need to do at least 2 weeks on step 3, 2 weeks on step 4 and 2 weeks on step 5. While you're doing that, you're very gradually decreasing the number of our core products that you use every day, so we're decreasing your reliance on those and starting to reintroduce the healthy food choices with a calorie allowance that gradually increases as you go up those steps. So stabilisation, that's you showing your body that you're not just going to go from eating 800 calories, for example, a day, to back to 2,000, which would probably be too much for most people anyway, but back to whatever level without doing it gradually, because your body will just start retaining water, you'll feel bloated and horrible, and mentally you'll probably just go back into your old habits. So the point of stabilisation is not just to physically adjust, but mentally as well, and learn new habits, maybe try new foods, make healthier choices than you ever have before. It's all part of the learning process. And once you've done those few weeks, you then need to maintain it. And again, from our plan's point of view, the whole concept of the one-to-one is that your consultant is there for you for both the main weight loss section, but also the maintenance as well. So if you still want to come and weigh weekly, at least to start with, you can. If you want to come fortnightly or monthly, or you just want to chat on the phone once a week, or whatever it's going to take for you to feel confident that you can maintain all your new habits, that's what we'll do. Okay? Some people do like to still have a product a day from the main range, like maybe we'll have one for breakfast because they say mentally it puts them in the right frame of mind. And obviously it gives them 200 calories to get them started, and they know that it's at least a third of all the nutrition they need for the day. But not all of them. Some don't want to ever touch a product again, and that's okay too. But whichever way it works for you, staying in touch with your consultant just to check that the weight doesn't start creeping up again, and if it does when you come back from a holiday, or it's been a month since you last stepped on the scales and you think, oh, I've perhaps been a little bit more relaxed than I should have been, it's fine, because it's only a couple of pounds and you can quickly just be a bit more focused, be good again, and it'll disappear. So that's what maintenance is about. It means that we perhaps decide what you're comfortable with as your upper limit that you don't want to break through again. So that could be a weight, it could be a BMI, it could be just a clothes size. You could say, well, I'm really happy in my size 14s, I don't ever want to wear 16s again. Well, when you get to the 14s being too tight, you know you need to do something about it before you have to go and buy a pair of 16s. So it can be whatever context you use for knowing you are at your happy weight and size and shape. That's what we'll work with. But these are your 4 stages of successful weight loss, and I will help you work through all of those. So if you stick with me rather than running away when you get to goal weight, we'll make sure you maintain it, and then you won't ever have to go through the whole process from start to finish again. Okay, so thank you ever so much for listening, and you take care.